Senegalese singer Amy Colle Dieng has spent her first night at the Dakar women's criminal camp. The singer had been charged with an offense to the head of state by spreading false news after broadcasting a sound recording on the internet in which she criticizes the head of state, Macky Sall. In the recording, she describes President Sall as sneaky as a lizard.
This was and now worth holding in pre-trial detention for the offence to the head of state and spreading false news. 2 offences punishable by 6 months to 2 years in prison and 1 to 3 years in prison according to the Senegalese penal code. In the West African country, the proceedings against Amy Colle Dieng is not an isolated case. For several years, similar cases have regularly been the chronicle. Last June, 4 people were remanded in pre-trial detention after airing a fake image of Sall naked. Politicians are also affected. Samuel Sarr and El Hadj Amadou Sall were arrested for offending the head of state earlier. With us in the morning is Amy Dieng's lawyer, Claude Lee. Hello, you denounce at once the arbitrary detention of your client. In law, it is not justified because today, if I ask you the question, is there a person who does a private interview, this interview being destined to remain private, may be accused of public broadcaster when the social networks take it through other people without his consent. So the issue of diffuser poses a problem. That is to say that the legal basis is problematic. Now, the second thing is to make the statements. Even if one quotes the name of a head of state, is it enough to give a gravel such that the prosecutor can say that the President of the Republic is offended? Or the prosecutor might find offensive, another person could analyze it as simply being a citizen who, with his level, gives his opinion to express his thoughts in relation to the governance of a country. So, here it is. It makes no sense at all. How do you think this story is going to evolve? It is not appropriate. The prosecutions are not grounded. In my opinion, and the foundations are political. It is an arrest with political undergoings. To the extent that, or when we listen to the recording, what could offend? Because critics are being criticized for current governance, and the apology for a past governance is being voiced. Listen to the tape, and you will see today what can push the state to indulge and detain an individual arbitrarily. The law is clear. She cannot be held. She must be the subject of an immediate appearance, or, in any case, determine whether it is a judicial information with release after she answers on summons. Why is detention arbitrary? So, there is something behind it. Last question. Beyond all this controversy, you believe that it is a law on the offense to the head of state which is problematic, that it must be repealed. The most important thing for me is that Africa requires the abolition of this offense in all African states. Why is the head of state? The head of state is not a first citizen. So the head of state comes into the common law. Why? There is this provision, and it is noted that it is a political instrument. Political opponents, when expressing opinions, or when the journalist does his job, they have the duty to inform. They use certain remarks. They are wrongly described as outrageous or offensive. From this moment, it becomes a dangerous tool that is incompatible with the democratic practices. So, the offense to the head of state makes no sense. In fact, the head of state is defamed. Defamation is punished. If it is insulting, the insult is punished. The offense, what is it? It is an infringement of honor it is infringement of the consideration. It is, in fact, a holding of disparaging remarks. Therefore, that characterizes both the offense of insult and infraction of defamation. You see, this poses much deeper debate. It must be known that it is a text that has a monarchic origin. We are now a democratic republic. Today, these texts are over the years.
Aujourd'hui, c'est des textes qui sont surannés.